easy go.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Caspa and I'm back with another episode of Building with Caspa. This is episode 5. In the last episode we sort of worked out the docks area with some plans that I had with creating a new boat, and I put some other boats around. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. So I've been doing a lot of stuff off camera during the week while not uploading. Basically just building, and like in the last episode I did say that this episode would probably build that new boat, but I did actually get to it during the week because I thought it's going to be a stressful process. I didn't particularly want to bring that to you guys. If you do want to see me build boats, then obviously let me know, because there is other boats that I do need to sort of work out. Here we go. As you can see, I've got these boats into the dock all around. It does look a little bit repeated, as you can sort of see, with just obviously the white and grey sort of sails and stuff like that. But, you know, it's how it is in the game. It looks good. I don't care. So this is what we're sort of rocking with. Obviously, it looked a little bit weird with the just the spruce and then this weird little bit of birch. I tried to use the new copper block, just basically because it's got different weathering, and I thought that might be quite good for a boat. You know, they're sort of sat in the docks here with the water splashing up and stuff like that. I thought it might look alright. I think it works quite well. These I've used as sort of like ropes being wrapped around the mast. Thought that looks pretty cool, so I put it around near here where these sort of like sails are being held up by. They're being tied up by this rope just to sort of make it look good. And then I've used this wither skull on top just to sort of, with the little point, sort of caps it off with a little rounded bit. I think that looks quite nice, you know. Let me know if you think it looks stupid, but I'm pretty happy with how the boat turned out. I'll get a photo on screen of what it actually was looking like. The way I done it, as you can see, I made 2 boats up here float, and I pretty much copied this sort of like height. I wanted to get the height right, but I didn't want to build it in the water, so I copied the sort of height of it and just worked on it from there, and then sort of just tried to copy the back bit here, but obviously this back bit is a lot different to this one, so I just sort of worked on it myself. Obviously there's some parts that could look better, like this bit is a little bit blocky, but I think all in all it turned out quite nice, and it's obviously not the main focal point of this map, so I don't think anyone will be looking at it and be like, oh, that boat looks fucking shit. No, it'll be fine. So this episode, instead of doing any more of the dock stuff, because, you know, I won't really build him with that episode, I was just using the structure block. Obviously, a lot of buildings sort of repeat. You can see this one here is just exactly the same as that one. So I did copy and paste those, but that's how it is in the game. So, you know, when you're playing Black Flag, I guess you don't really notice the amount of repeated buildings, but me building it, I have noticed a lot. I've done quite a bit off camera, but I wanted to sort of take you through some buildings. So my next bit here is build the building here that goes along this bit and sort of encloses this area. So that will sort of like just cap this area off. You'll notice obviously I haven't put any windows on some of these and stuff like that. I'll come back through here and do them. I just want to get the main structure of the city down. So I'm going to take a look at what building we've got to make, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so first thing that is coming in, from this point here, it's going to be an arch. And it's going to be this sort of arch here. This yellow building is basically what it's going to be. So I'm going to have to copy that, because there's no point me building it when I've literally got the structure right there. Okay, so the arch is in. That was pretty easy. Okay, so the next building I'm going to do is probably going to be here. Okay, so I started building the little sandstone building here. And what I've noticed is this bit here isn't in line with this bit. So I'm going to have to bring this bit up, I think. And then I also don't like that this is a little bit different. So I might bring this down a little bit. So I'll quickly do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so this bit's raised up and now this bit's lowered. They should all be the same height. Next thing is to bring this side up. We've made 2 walls that are sandstone, and then this top bit is going to be this yellow concrete here. So I'm going to get this in. And then it's nothing pretty. It's just like a filler building basically. So if I get that in, that should all look fine. The only annoying part is obviously 5 high in the middle. I don't particularly like that. So I might make it so it's 5 high on the bottom. I just feel like that looks a little bit better, but then I don't want that to line up. I think it looks a bit silly. No, we'll leave it like that. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so the next building I'm going to make is going to go along here. There's a couple of buildings, so what I'm thinking is it's going to go out like that, and then it's going to have a 3-block gap, like that. So I'm going to use these as like support beams, and then I'm actually going to make this 5 high, so we're going to have, obviously that'll be 4 high, so if we add another layer here of this, then we can pop them there. That looks fine. Okay, so now that's in there. If we get rid of this layer, I opted to bring it out one more so I could add this sort of like depth. We're going to add the next bit, which is going to be these now go there, like my diamond block. So these go along here, and then they're like acting as a border. And then we're going to get some path block in here, because this is just a design that I sort of went with from when I started building this area. So if I quickly find the path block, get that out, pop these along here. Now obviously you've got this under bit, so that's what I've got to sort of work on. So we're going to quickly get that in there. They look fine. Obviously if I have one there, right, let's go like that. We're going to need one under here, need one under here. We'll need some sandstone under there just to be safe. And then there's a window there, and then we've got a door here which is going up on one of these, so we'll need that like that, and that'll be fine there. We can add the door, and then we can go into here in my big bag of tricks and pop that there so no one can go in there. Quickly get that down and that down, and then we need to put these here. Right, and that's fine for what we want so far. So the next bit that I'll want to do is, to be fair, I may just put these up like that, so they make it all the way to the top. I just think that would look nicer. Yeah, let's do that. We'll get these in, and then we've obviously got to do this little roof bit. We'll do that after though, so if we just fill this in, just so we know what we're working with. 5 high, so that works nicely there. Probably won't see that, and then that's in there. Okay, so then we can get any sort of like ceiling bit that we want. We can do that window after. So the next layer is sandstone again, so I'm going to use these as borders again. I will only use them on these 2 corners here, and they're going to go up 4 high. The reason why I've sort of done it like this is because, as you know, here there's a 5-block gap there, 4 there, and then a 4 there. So I'm going to do the 5 at the bottom for this building, and then 4s on top. So they're going to act as borders there. We'll bring this along here. We don't have to like fill this bit in because no one's ever going to see it. Obviously it'd be nice to be able to have everyone go into every single building. It'd be nice sort of like for exploration, but in terms of just getting the map out quicker, and it just being like more accurate to the story of Assassin's Creed, then there's no point really. So therefore high, I'm going to pop these going across here. Perfect matchup. Now this building isn't just flat, these ones are here, but this one is actually going to go have a roof. So if I quickly grab the roof block that I'm using, it's going to go along here like that. So we know where our sort of border is. Does it fit there? Nope, it's one more. Okay, so this is the size we're sort of working with. Quite large, to be fair. Now we just got to hope it's an odd number, otherwise I'm going to cry. So if I go like this, we just get all of these in. Could have counted it, but may as well build the roof while we're at it. I'm guessing we're going back down a little bit high. I think we may be out of luck. It's an even number. So my next option for that, I can't really extend this anymore. Well, actually, we're in luck. That's where it's meant to start. Like like that. So boom, we've got an odd number, meaning we get the centre block. Boom. I think that looks a lot better with that centre block, and you know, the math works quite nicely, even though we've got quite a thick sort of building and roof. So I'm going to quickly, this top layer is actually this blue concrete, like that. And then it's got a couple of windows on, but I'll do those another time, like I've said. So I'm going to get this wall in, and then I'll come back to you when we start the next building. Okay, so the next building I'm going to do is going to be along just in this gap, this sort of corner. And it actually matches this side here. So if I quickly see that this is 3, 6, 9, 11 blocks along. So how many have we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to copy this with the structure block, and then I'll be back with you in a second. So I just had an idea while building this. Why don't I just extend this one out? It's 4, so I could literally get this block, place it here, and then just extend this building out a bit. I think that might look a lot better. It won't affect it at all. So I'm gonna do that actually. So let's do that. Hold on. So we're gonna need to obviously extend this checkered floor out. This thing won't be affected at all. The only thing is gonna be this. So we'll bring this out a little bit. Fill this in here. You won't see this wall past here. That's fine there. Let's get this building out of the way. Get that out. So then basically it's just going to look the exact same, and then we'll just leave these purple bits on top. Okay, so the only thing that makes this look shit at the minute is obviously no ceiling, so I'll have to sort that out in a second. Okay, so that's in, and this is now extended. I think that looks a lot better. We could always, once the windows go in, we can also detail it up with some different colour ones to make them look like pillars. The next thing to do, obviously this roof looks ugly as hell, that will get sorted. Next thing to do is get the building in between, which will run along this bit here. So I'll find that out and I'll come back. Okay, so this is what the building's going to look like. It's just yellow with these bits, so it's going to be 2 away. It's going to have little pillars on the corners. Yeah, both corners. That's the roof. We're probably going to make this 5 high just to match everything else. So keep that in your head and let's go build it. Okay, so one problem that I've already got is that I've only managed to get 4 pillars down in this space, and there's meant to be 5 pillars. So we're just going to have to basically condense the build. Won't make much of a difference in the whole grand scheme of things. So we'll bring this up like that. So it's 4 up, and then we're going. Actually, I didn't need those in there, did I? Okay, so we're 5 up now. If I get the top bit here, get that in. If I grab these, pop them in there just to keep it at a normal height. We don't want to be in too tall with the arches. I think 3 high is fine. Well, kind of 4 high. So I think that looks alright. The one thing that annoys me about these, for some reason the sandstone stairs have a different sort of texture to the smooth sandstone blocks. So what I do is I get the smooth sandstone slabs, and they have a similar texture but different to both of them. But I think with it being similar, I think it looks a little bit better if I try and match them. So that's what I'll do there. Make them match. That's the 5 high. Then we can just go 4 high on the rest. So if I go up along here, and then does that match the height that we're working with? I don't think it does. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So obviously what we can see is this is going to be a different height. So what can we do to change that? We can't really make this any taller because that won't look right. That means we may have to bring this shorter. But does that work with what we've got going on here? I mean, it could. It can't look horrendous. So I'm going to quickly get this shortened down by 1 block and we'll see how it looks. Okay guys, so I've brought it down a layer. I'm now putting in the roof. what I'm sort of seeing is, obviously, if I brought this along here, it would be down just a little bit from this sort of height here. Now, do you think that looks okay, or should I leave it how it was just a second ago? Like, I don't know if I like that, sort of having that little drop down to then just go straight back up. So I'm tempted to just leave it how it is. So I'm going to quickly, I'll change it to how I've got it here, how I want it. And if you think it should be anything different, just let me know in the comments and we'll retake a look at it. So I'm going to basically get it in like this, and then I can just build the roof as normal. So I'm going to quickly get this roof in. Obviously, round here where we've done the 180 with this bit, that meant the roof 180 as well, so we still got to sort that just a little bit. So what we had to do here was we had it at a certain height, and then we had to bring it back down a block just to sort of make the math right, otherwise it would have looked silly. Like, I could have easily just raised this up, but then I'd have had to raise that up, and then I'd have had to raise this up, and then it would have all just gone like completely wrong. I would have been raising so many buildings to just, you know, change one little thing. So you sort of have to get used to changing things, even if it doesn't sort of look like the game. But that's, you know, you'll sort of hear me constantly saying that there's, you know, looking good in a game and then there's looking good in Minecraft. If you're trying to copy things, you've got to find that fine balance. So the way I started this map was actually when I was playing Assassin's Creed Unity when it first came out. I loved the look of some of the buildings and I just wanted to build them. So I built my first one, kept them going, it got big enough, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to make a Hunger Games map, that would be sick. So I put chests around and all that, made a Hunger Games map. Me and my friends played it a couple times, and then I was like, oh, I want to finish this bit, I want to finish that bit. I played some more Assassin's Creed Unity. Oh, that building looks cool, I'm going to build that. Eventually, the map got way too big, and we couldn't play Hunger Games on it anymore. And then I played Assassin's Creed Origins a few years later, and I was like, oh, I'm going to build Assassin's Creed Origins now. Started on Alexandria. And then just going from there. At this point, it was just too big to even be a Hunger Games. So I thought, oh, I could do a creative, an adventure map. So I started doing the adventure map. I made my own storyline for it. Basically, finished that storyline. Didn't like it, so I literally deleted it all again. So there's been a lot of wasted time on this game and on this map in general. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this next bit in. So these two walls here are sandstone. So if we grab some sandstone here, I'll get them filled in and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so this next bit we'll do in here. So we had the pillar and then it was obviously all yellow. So if I quickly grab some yellow, we'll use the brighter yellow. This is a little bit more mustardy shit colour. So I only use that when there's two yellows next to each other like this. So I don't just have that same colour. I like to mix it up a little bit just to sort of add that contrast. But yeah, I'll always try and use the bright yellow where I can. So if we bring this all the way along, we obviously need to get the pillar again. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get these pillars up and then we'll deal with the rest of the building now. So if I fill that out, try not to fuck it up. Obviously we've then got this to go across here. And then this bit is sandstone here, so fill that in. Just so when we look at it from the side, it looks all fine. Get that block in there just for my OCD. Move this along. Right, so that's fine there. My next thing that I obviously am going to need to do is get these ceilings in for this bit, and then there's a little bit just in here. So and we've got this wall. Let's get this wall in quickly. And then we'll do these ceilings. So I'll check out this ceiling first and we'll get this in. Okay, so from what I can tell, it's like that on both of these pillars. Then we're going to get some smooth sandstone here. And we'll get some of these. Pop one of these here. One of them there. Then we do smooth sandstone, so these sort of like then act like support beams to a certain extent. This bit goes all the way along, just flat, and then the same over here. That's the ceiling there. So from what I can see, we are going to be using this wood instead of that one, and then we'll use this instead of that. So it's going to be a lot of orange, but I think it will look okay. So we need this here, we need that there, and then if we go like this, I don't know how I want to do it, because I don't want to have it every sort of one block, because I think that will look silly. So if I try and do it every two, I feel like that might look a little bit better. If we could then maybe centre it up with a 3 block gap between these. I could do the 2s, no, it wouldn't match. 2 here. We obviously need this along here, like that. If we get the smooth sandstone here, and then the last one, does that match? Yeah, it was 1 block on the other side of that. I think that looks okay, so then we'll get these in like this, and then I'll come back to you once they're in. Okay, so they're all in, so now onto the bit round here. Now this one is exactly the same as the last one, just instead of the orange sandstone, we're using normal sandstone slabs, but I'm going to get these in like this, and then we've just got to basically decorate the side of the buildings with some lights, and then we're done with this building, besides obviously the windows and stuff like that. But we can obviously do that at a later date. Let's actually make this look better. Boom. So that'll do for now. I can always come back through and do the windows after. I don't think you guys want to see the windows. It's a little bit tedious and boring. So I'm going to plan the next part. I'm going to try and fill this area in here, and we'll see what we're working with. We are getting very close to the edge of the map. When we get... This is the last building before the edge of the map, and then there's like a massive sort of castle, and it's where the like Spanish government, I guess you could say, basically all the guards around the map, that's where they sort of like hide, or not hide, but where they have their sort of outpost, and yeah. So that's going to be a big build there. It's not got a lot of detail compared to some of the buildings in like Unity that I've built. It is literally just straight walls, basic stone brick, so that won't look too bad. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the episode here. I feel like we've done a good amount. Obviously it's a small amount in comparison to the entire world, but a good amount of, you know, building these actual buildings, for you to sort of get an idea of, you know, the rest of the map and how we're going to go proceeding forward. So obviously if you like what you've seen today, please like, comment and subscribe, and then share with your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.